This is Jared Horak for the runawayhorse.com, and this is going to be my second Travers 2019 video. Last week we looked at the jockey trainer historical trends for the Travers. This week we're going to look at the key race historical trends going back to 2005. So going back to 2005, that'll give us the last 15 winners of the Travers, including the dead heat in 2012. So out of the last 15 years in the Travers Stakes, 10 of the horses that won in those 15 races won their last start. 4 of them were coming off of second place finishes, and one horse, Colonel John, finished third in his final Travers prep. So as you could see from the stats, you have to be very sharp, most likely even winning your last prep, since 10 of the 15 won their final prep. 4 of them finished second, and then as I mentioned, one finished third. So all 15 were in the top 3. Now out of those 15 winners, 7 of them made their final prep race at Saratoga. So having a race over the track as your final prep certainly bodes well. 5 of them were Jim Dandy Stakes winners. 1 of them was a Jim Dandy runner-up. And then 1 of them, VE Day, was a Curlin Stakes winner. So having that race over the Saratoga track, bodes well for your success at Saratoga in the Travers. 3 of them prepped at Monmouth Park. We had 2 Haskell runner-ups and then 1 Pegasus winner. Point Given was the last horse to win the Haskell and the Travers. The Maximum Security is trying to do that this year. That's not easy. We've seen it over and over again. These horses that win the Haskell, they come in, they try to win the Travers. They just can't win those 2 races. Those 2 races could not be more different. The Haskell Stakes is 1 1/8 miles at Monmouth Park, and it typically favors speed horses and horses maybe that don't have quite as much stamina as it takes to win at 1.25 miles at Saratoga in the Travers Stakes. Now, trainer Bob Baffert saddled 2 of the last 3 winners, West Coast and Arrogate, and this year he's going to try to win with Game Winner. Now, Game Winner has the same pattern as West Coast because he's coming out of the Los Alamitos Derby, and then Arrogate did all of his final prep was at Del Mar, and all his workouts were at Del Mar, and right now Game Winner's at Del Mar. He won the Los Al Derby, so he looks like he's going to be a solid threat for Bob Baffert. Last year, we had the only Travers winner in the last 15 winners that actually didn't run on the main track. Catholic Boy, he won the Belmont Derby on turf at 1.25 miles. And I think the key there was just that Catholic Boy had the stamina. He was able to go 1.25 miles. He already had proven himself, and he had good early pressing versatility. So this year, I think all of the main contenders are coming off of main track races. And let's look at the main contenders this year. Right now, there's up to 11 horses could be running in the Travers Stakes, but War of Will right now, it looks like he's not going to go. Trainer Mark Cassidy looks like he just doesn't think that he's ready for the Travers. He's going to run in the Pennsylvania Derby, so he'd probably wait and run in the Pennsylvania Derby. That's probably a good thing because War of Will didn't run well in his final prep in the Jim Dandy, and we just said if you didn't finish it in the top 3 in your final prep, you really have no shot in the Travers, so it's probably a good thing that he's going to skip the race. But let's look at the contenders in alphabetical order. We'll start with Code of Honor, and he's had 3 works since he won the Dwyer Stakes. And he had a 5-furlong bullet workout on the Saratoga training track. That was on August 4th, so he seems to be coming into the race good for trainer Shug McGahee. Endorsed, still pointing to the Travers for trainer Karen McLaughlin. Karen McLaughlin's won the Travers once with Alpha in 2012. He's had one workout since the Curlin Stakes. That was a 4-furlong breeze at Saratoga. That was on August 6th. Now, Game Winner, we mentioned him. He's training at Del Mar, and he's had 2 Del Mar workouts since the Los Alamitos Derby. His last work was 5 furlongs in 101.20. That was on August 6th. He seems to be in fine form. He's been pointing to this race, and he would be a major contender. Global Campaign, he hasn't worked since the Jim Dandy. He finished 3rd in that race. His stamina is suspect, but he does have speed. Highest honors for trainer Chad Brown. He hasn't worked out yet since winning the Curlin Stakes. He's improving, and we mentioned VE Day won the Curlin Stakes, and he parlayed that into a Travers win, so Highest Honors is trying to do the same thing. Chad Brown also has Looking at Bikinis, and he also ran in the Curlin Stakes. He was the beaten favorite. He finished 3rd. He would be a pace factor if he would run in the Travers Stakes. Maximum Security for trainer Jason Service. Not sure yet if he's going to run in the Travers or not. They're going to wait a while and make that decision. He had that grueling race in the Haskell. The heat was just crazy that day. The heat and humidity was through the roof, and he had a grueling race throughout, and he won that. He was very tired after that race. He still hasn't bounced back 100%, but he did have his first workout since winning the Haskell on August 7th at Monmouth. A very easy 4 furlong breeze. So his Travers determination will be considered, I think, sometime after August 20th, and right now it's August 8th. Owendale for trainer Brad Cox. He won the Ohio Derby. He hit the board, finishing 3rd in the Preakness Stakes. He had a 5 furlong bullet at Churchill Downs on August 3rd. He's a late runner, maybe most likely to hit the board, if anything, in the Travers. Tacitus, he hasn't worked since the Jim Dandy. He had all that trouble. He probably should have won his last 2 starts in the Belmont Stakes and the Jim Dandy. In the Belmont, he was hung out wide over an inside speed favoring track from the outside post. Last time in the Jim Dandy, he had stumbled badly at the start, finished a good second. He's going to love the 1.25 mile distance for sure. Tax, your upset winner in the Jim Dandy. He hasn't worked since that race, but he would be a pace factor for sure if he ends up running. And he'll be the final one because War Will was the 11th possible in alphabetical order. But like I said, he's probably not going to run in the Travers this year. Make sure to check out my Travers video from last week from the Jockey Trainer Historical Trends. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you're interested in Saratoga races all summer, go to therunawayhorse.com, check out our 2019 Saratoga page. We have free picks, stakes recaps, how the track's playing each week, much more information. So go over and check out our Saratoga 2019 page at therunawayhorse.com. That will wrap up this video. I'll be back next week with another look at the Travers Stakes.